Hey guys, we're live on the moon. It's April 21st, 2013, and a windy, cloudy evening. I've been waiting forever for a good night, and I think I'm going to be waiting forever if I want to get a shot in. We've had some terrible weather here in Texas. We've had a lot of rain, a lot of clouds, a lot of wind. Tonight is windy, but I decided, what the hell? I do have a shot. For the last 3 days, we've had thunderstorms and wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. And I've been itching to get out. It seems forever. I hope you guys had a good holidays. uh, it might take me a bit to get into the groove because I haven't done this since I guess November. It's been a while. And some of you guys say, well, you're just slacking, Bill. Well, quite frankly, the weather has been considerably bad. There have been maybe one or two nights when I could have done it, but it was, well, quite frankly, it was just too cold. It was like in the 30s, and I don't like to get this telescope out when it's that cold. So I've been waiting for some good weather for weather that I think would work with my telescope, and I've been waiting for the wind to die down, but it just wouldn't die down. It never dies down. And I'm going to go through some of the motions now, and then put it on pause. I do not have a Barlow in. I'm using a 19 millimeter panoptic lens, and the let me bring it back out and let me focus it a little bit. Autofocus, in focus. That's a pretty good picture. And let me fiddle with the brightness. I'll turn the brightness down just a little bit. We're going to do a survey of the moon tonight. You can see it jumping a little bit. That's the wind out there. And the prognosis is for wind for another week or so. And let me explain things. Here in Texas, we have a weather situation. In the winter, we get a lot of rain, and you can see right now it's 7:24 p.m. and you can see that blue haze in the background. What's still light outside? It's not dark. So I would say within 30 minutes the image should get considerably better. There have been nights when I could have done it, but the damn moon, I have this observatory on my porch, and my porch has got a roof on it, and the moon is like right over the roof, and I can't see it. So there've been a lot of nights when I could have done it if I didn't have the roof. Isn't that pretty? See how the blue in the background, the blue sky. See, it actually brings out the color. This is a really sensitive camera that brings out the color. And by the way, I'm encouraging, there's a lot of guys out there trying to do what I'm doing and replicating it. I encourage everybody to get a telescope, get some cameras, experiment with it. This camera I'm using is a C910, and I'm currently recording at 1080p at 23, 17, 21, right around in there frames per second. So I should be getting a really, there's a ferret. See, my mom likes me to point out the ferret because she thinks it looks like a ferret. And right below the ferret, you can see the Sea of Tranquility and the Sea of Serenity. Let's do this. Let's just kind of go to the left a little bit, and we should see Plato. It took me a little bit longer to set up because I hadn't done it in a while. It's a very technical thing that I do. They're coming in center. That big crater right there, centered, is Plato, and you can see we do have some features that might come up if we get if we do a little bit with the Barlow. Let me try to zoom in and see if my zoom's working correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 clicks of zoom. And you can see it's kind of fuzzy a little bit. So, I mean, putting the Barlow in tonight might not pay out as much. But it's kind of fun to get up here again and just see what we can see. And let me just work the contrast a little bit. See, the contrast will bring out. I've tried about 6, 7, 8 cameras. Even the new one in the line by Logitech. And this particular model is the one that I've decided to embrace because it seems to give me the most flexibility in control. And that's a pretty good image. And you can still see off to the left there the blue sky. The blue sky, and it'll get darker and darker, and eventually that blue sky will turn black. And if I look and turn my neck here and look out the window, it's still light. Still light. Okay, let's go down. And there's the ocean of storms. And there's the promontories, and the features were familiar. Let's go to the right here and see if we can. Isn't that a pretty picture? Really a pretty picture. I really miss doing this. I've got a lot of people bugging me and say, Bill, when the hell are you going to do another? Have you died? I mean, what's going on? No, I'm still here and everything's fine. I did go to Pennsylvania for Christmas. Had a great time with everybody up there. I always do, and it snowed. we had a lot of snow, and there's our horse. See our horse kind of centered right there. See the horse? Well, let me center it exactly. Right there, centered. And see, it's shaking. That's the wind blowing. But like I say, I know that I've got a lot of people waiting for a video, so I said, well, the hell with it. I'm going to go out there and do one, and we're going to come what may. There's our mountain range. The Japanese mountain range on the moon, and the moon is it's not quite full, but it's getting there, and so consequently we're not going to see as much. You can see some color variation, and let's go to the sea. There's a line of demarcation right there in the middle. And let's zoom in on that and see how it's kind of fuzzy. It's not quite in focus. Let me see if I can. Well, let me back out and work that focus a little bit. I was surprised. Out of focus. That's good focus right there. I was surprised that. And let's work the brightness up a little bit. So I will turn the brightness all the way up, then you can turn the brightness down. You can see some more detail. I was surprised that everything worked when I turned it on. I turned this thing on, and I didn't at first. I didn't get a damn image, and I said, "What in the hell is going on?" It was all black, you know. I got all panicked, you know, and I went around and did a whole bunch of things. And then I realized I have this spotter out there on the. It's in a prism deal, and you got to flip the mirror. You got to flip the mirror down to let the camera see. Isn't that pretty on the look at the blue on the edge of the moon? See if I get right there, you can see the really pretty blue, and that'll turn to black. That's a really, it's just shaking a little bit. It's a real pretty image. And every once in a while, you're going to see an artifact on the screen with this camera. I've done a lot of things to try to get rid of it, but it doesn't seem to. I think it's in the driver. It's not a UFO. You saw a little one to the left of the eyeball of the ferret there. See a little flicker deal. You know, that's just driver artifacts for the camera. Can't do too much about it. And let me turn. See all that crater at the 2 o'clock position is really bright. So we turn the brightness down and work the contrast a little bit. We can see more detail in that crater. And that's what I like about this camera. You have very finite controls. You can see the little yellow or orangey things that come up. Those are not UFOs. I had one guy from West Africa painstakingly tell me about this UFO that was on one of my videos. You know, of course, it was one of these artifacts. But I have seen a lot of UFOs, and I've had a lot of good comments on my bats. Maybe we'll see some bats flying around here tonight. I don't know. Actually, for a windy night, it's really surprisingly good. It has really good quality. And look at the detail in the craters. Isn't that a beautiful shot, guys? Absolutely stunning shot. And let me back out a little bit more. And see, I can back out all the way. Right there, I'm backed out all the way. Let me just zoom in from here, and this will give you a real. It'll get fuzzy, but see the detail at the edge of the moon there? Let's just, for grins, zoom in on that. Now I'm going to count the clicks. This is how many clicks of zoom. Most astronomers don't have any zoom, and certainly can't control it from a computer. And this is a mechanical zoom, but it's built into the camera. Okay, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And by damn, look at that, guys. To the left of center, just south of center, is our rocket ship. And let me see if I can punch the button the right way. Just about centered right there. Centered is our rocket ship. I want to see that, even though it's not very good. I want to see that up close and personal. I've done a video on that before. It comes out every once in a while, and you can see the shadow below it. Let me just try to center it, and then you can look for it. It's something that's stuck in the moon. It looks like at an angle. And I've looked on the NASA photos of this area, and it's just not there. So I think it's a recent. Oops. I'm punching it the wrong way. Gotta go up. Oops. Sorry, guys. I get all excited and then I punch it the wrong way. I'm going to put it on pause, find my moon again. Oh, there it comes. Let me just center this thing on the rocket ship if I can find it. There, it's just about centered, right there centered. Look at that thing in the middle, kind of at the 2 o'clock on that crater, and it's kind of at an angle. See how it's angled out? It looks, and then right below it, you can see a shadow, a distinct shadow. That is something sticky. It's not a rock formation on the. It's something in the air. I'm pretty sure, and we're seeing the shadow below. So it's a really strange thing. Let me put it on pause. I'm going to bring it all out. I'm going to put my Barlows in there and see if we can look at this thing really close. Back it out, back it out, back it out, back it out. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Didn't you miss my videos, guys? I miss giving them, watching them and looking at them. I'm fascinated by the moon and everything there is about it. And I'm encouraged that so many people, look at the wind blowing that thing. Oh, well. And it's still centered. That rocket ship's still centered. I'm going to put it on pause, and we're going to put that Barlow in and take a closer look at this this feature. Okay, I'm back, guys. I wanted to leave it just like it was. I put that Barlow in. This shows you how finely tuned my telescope is. I put that Barlow in, which is a Teleview part Barlow, and I haven't touched anything. I haven't done any focusing or any. It's pretty much in focus, but I will try to focus it better. And that gives you an idea of how, if you stick to a line, that's really a pretty good picture right there, guys. If you stick to a line, and let me back out all the way. Now, the trick is, can I find my rocket ship? Yeah, I see it down there. By the way, at the exact corner, upper right corner at the 2 o'clock, going off screen was Tycho. And let's go down. Boy, that's going to be a good picture of that rocket ship. Rocket ship is just about north of center. Got to make sure I push the buttons the right way. Right there in center is the rocket ship, and let me just see if I can zoom in now. I am not zoomed in at all. I'm all the way out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just north of center. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's about it. And yeah, you can see the fuzzies. But I've looked at this thing on many occasions, backing around a little bit, right there about centered, on many occasions. And if you take a look at that crater just to the north of that rocket ship that looks like it's got feelers on it, that crater is Capuna. No, Capuanus, Capunus crater. And this rocket ship is just in this particular configuration south of that. Let me turn the brightness up a little bit. That's actually a remarkable picture. And you can see, if you take a look at it, turn the contrast down, you can see something that's at an angle. And I've seen this thing from different configurations, and it's always seems to be a shadow underneath it. You say, well, Bill, that's just something that's straight and laying on the ground. I don't believe it is. I believe it's sticking up in the air, whatever it is, and we're looking at that dark shadow, which is running horizontal to the bottom of the angled ship or artifact or whatever it is. And the wind, she blows. Okay. Let's go over to the Sea of Moisture, Mare Humorium, and Gassendi crater. Gassendi crater is coming up on our left side of the screen. And that Mare right there in the middle is the Sea of Moisture, and it's windy. And we have a racing moon, which means that's a good picture, guys. That's a really good picture. For those of you who watched Jose's film Celestial, he featured what appeared to be, it's a windy, windy night. You can see why I've been putting off. Sometimes when the wind blows, you know, it just makes it pretty tough. But you know, this is our first shot at doing anything. So I said, what the hell? He featured a crater that I'm going to zoom in on, and it's called Doppelmayr crater. And he thinks that there's, and it looked like there was a base there. Let me zoom in on it. Doppelmayr crater right there. We'll zoom back out. Pretty good pictures, guys, considering a windy night. Okay, well, let's do a survey before I run out of, I like to keep these videos still about 30 minutes long. So let's just kind of work our way. Look at the mountain range south of Gassendi. And in that, I've always thought that there was a base, an alien base, right in this area. Matter of fact, let's just zoom in. Some of you guys say, well, you don't believe in aliens on the moon, do you, Bill? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I believe that all those bats that I've been seeing flying around the moon are all flying saucers. How about that? See, we're getting there pretty close, but the wind's not cooperating. So, you know, we'll just back out and kind of take our time and work our way up. Yeah, I had a great time visiting my mother and sister and brother and family and cousins. And oh, here we go. Let's see what we can do with this. Just a second. I'm going to put it on pause and get this in close. Hang with me, guys. Okay, this crater is called Aristarchus crater, and it was featured also in Jose's film. And I can't, if I increase the color, see we just, we can't see too much, not tonight. But we do see details in that crater. And if you remember what's in that film, he showed the gold mines, and the gold mines were to the left of on this screen. It would be to the left of the crater. And let's just zoom in on it right now. I'll zoom in all the way for the hell of it. See how it gets kind of fuzzy. Let's see, that crater, I can't give you Herodotus. That crater that looks like a right to the north on this screen of Aristarchus is Prince. Prince crater is 46 kilometers in diameter. Give you an idea of how close we are. Okay, that's a good detail. Good detail. And yes, I'm sitting here drinking my Starbucks coffee, iced coffee, best coffee in the whole world. Okay. Now we're going to look at the Jura Mountains, and that pinnacle right there is the pinnacle Hercules centered. And above that pinnacle Hercules is Promontorium Laplace. And we're actually seeing quite a bit of detail, even though we can't turn up the color. See the color, it's still light outside. I should have waited, but see how it's blue when I turn the intensity up, because it, and you can see when I do, you can see it you can see the detail of the color in the Bay of Rainbows, which is that bay that is between Promontorium Laplace and, oh, that's a really great picture, guys. See the sea, the top of the sea is Promontorium Laplace, and the bottom point of the sea, pointing out to the, to the right there, that's Hercules Promontory. Now you can see some color coming out. See, as it's getting darker, and see the blue on the, I increase the intensity. A lot of people say this color is fake. It's fake as hell. You're just telling people wrong, Bill. Well, I'm just showing you what I see. I turned the intensity up. You can see the blue to the left of the sky. That's, it's still light outside. You could go out on the porch and read a book. And then if you look to the right in the Sea of Showers, which is the big ocean to the right, you can see it looks to me like depth. Now let's zoom in. That's a great image, guys. Focus, focus, focus. Again, I've had a lot of guys doing videos of the moon, and I absolutely encourage it. It's the greatest thing that could ever happen to the hobby. And now let's zoom in on the Laplace Promontory, see how close we can get. You can see the shadow coming off the peak. And let's see if, usually when I'm in this close I can't, you can see the wind's blowing, but what the hell. Focus. Yeah. Usually I'm better off focusing it out here. But you can see we're looking at a pretty, all things considered, a pretty clear picture. Okay, let's go up to Plato crater. And there, see how it's shifted when I, and now the color's coming out better. See, we're seeing some really neat color now. And that big crater right there centered is Plato. Now let's zoom in on Plato. And see those tubes just to the south of Plato. These were featured by NASA and on my website www.billbryson-astronomer.com also have shown the color variation of these, and you can see that we're actually close enough to where we can see some of the detail from this particular angle. Okay, let's see the cut. Isn't this fun, guys? We haven't done this in a good while. Miss my moon. And if we go off, there's the triage of craters. At the bottom is I think it's Archimedes, and the Apollo landing site is to the west of Archimedes, or to the east of Archimedes on this screen, and just north of Archimedes is Aristarchus is at the 1130 position. And then let's just go over to the mountains and see. I don't think we're going to see the shadow line on the mountains right now. And that crater right there is Copernicus right below. See that big crater right there coming up? Copernicus, a good shot of Copernicus. Matter of fact, that's one of the best shots we've ever had if it wasn't for the wind. And see how I can turn the brightness up, the contrast up a little bit, turn the color up a little bit. You can see that there's a lot of color in this area, especially to the left. See to the left, the color coming out there. Now let's go north and then we'll finish this thing up. That crater right there centered is Eratosthenes crater. And there you can see the spine of the Alps coming down to the crater. So you're getting a free geography lesson, guys. A free geography lesson. And then, let's back it out and go up to the sea. See, the Sea of Serenity on the left and the Sea of Tranquility on the right. and what I call the line of demarcation, right smack dab in the middle. And it's still daylight outside. You can still read a book on the porch. And there's the ferret. And see, as you go up now, the ferret, the the sky is darker, and and actually the moon is approaching the roof of my porch, so I had to do this thing just a little early. But like I said, this is the first time. I didn't do bad. I mean, I hadn't been doing this for such a long time. Again, I'm glad to bring another video to you. Hopefully, I'll be able to do this more frequently with the weather clearing up, getting into the spring, and through the summer it's usually clear. So we'll be on a better, a more steady approach to moon videos. Meantime, wishing you and yours clear skies, guys.